Are you one of thousands of pensioners who could be owed nearly £8,000 in back payments from the Department for Work and Pensions? Shocking new figures reveal that many retirees have been underpaid for years without even realizing it. This could be money that rightfully belongs in your pocket. Imagine what you could do with an unexpected windfall of almost £8,000. That's money for home repairs, medical expenses, helping family members, or simply enjoying the retirement you've worked so hard for. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly who's eligible, why these errors happened, and most importantly, how you can claim what's rightfully yours. Before I dive into these life-changing details, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on crucial money-saving advice that could put thousands back in your wallet. I post new videos every week about pensions, benefits, and government schemes that could dramatically improve your financial situation. Don't let another pound slip through your fingers. Subscribe now to stay informed. The Department for Work and Pensions has recently confirmed they're issuing back payments averaging £7,859 to pensioners who've been underpaid due to historical errors in their state pension calculations. This isn't small change we're talking about, it's money that could transform your retirement, pay off debts, or help support your family. In fact, for many pensioners living on a fixed income, this represents more than half a year's worth of standard state pension payments. Just think about that for a moment. You could have been struggling to make ends meet while all this time, thousands of pounds that belong to you are sitting in government accounts. The scale of this issue is staggering. According to official figures released by the DWP, the total underpayment is estimated at £1.3 billion, affecting approximately 210,000 pensioners. That's hundreds of thousands of elderly citizens who've been shortchanged on their retirement income, often for many years. Some individuals have discovered they're owed more than £10,000. With the highest reported back payment exceeding £45,000. Could you be one of these people who's owed a life-changing sum? So who exactly is affected by these errors? The underpayments primarily impact three groups of pensioners. First, married women whose husbands reached state pension age before March 2008 and who should have received an upgraded pension when their husband retired. Many of these women were entitled to a higher rate based on their husband's national insurance contributions but never received it. Under the old pension rules, married women could claim up to 60% of their husband's basic state pension if this would give them a higher rate than their own pension. However, before March 2008, this upgrade wasn't automatic. You had to apply for it. If you never knew about this rule, you've likely been underpaid for years. Let me share the story of Margaret from Leeds, who discovered she was owed over £9,000 after her friend mentioned this pension issue at their weekly coffee meeting. Margaret had been struggling to heat her home properly during winter, cutting back on essentials to make ends meet. While all this time she was entitled to a higher pension payment. Her husband had retired in 2004, but she had no idea she needed to apply for an upgraded pension based on his contributions. Now, with her back payment, she's finally been able to replace her 20-year-old boiler and feel secure about keeping warm in winter. The second group includes widows and widowers who should have inherited a higher state pension entitlement from their deceased spouse. Have you lost your partner and been struggling financially? You might be due a significant payment that could ease your burden. Many bereaved individuals don't realize that they're entitled to inherit a portion of their spouse's state pension, especially if their partner had a better national insurance record. The rules are complex, varying depending on when you and your spouse reached pension age. But the principle is clear. You shouldn't be penalized financially after losing your life partner. Consider John from Cardiff, who lost his wife of 47 years in 2015. For 5 years, he lived on a reduced income, often having to choose between heating and eating. After reading about the pension underpayments, he contacted the DWP and discovered he was owed over £12,000 in inherited pension rights. That money has transformed his daily life, allowing him to repair his home and even visit his daughter in Scotland, something he hadn't been able to afford since his wife passed away. The third group includes those over 80, regardless of marital status, who should have been automatically upgraded to a minimum pension amount. Were you 80 before March 2021? You could be owed thousands without even knowing it. Under a little-known rule called the Category D state pension, anyone aged 80 or over is entitled to a minimum pension of £85.50 per week, regardless of their national insurance contribution record. This is supposed to be applied automatically, but system errors meant many people missed out. Take Elizabeth from Devon, who celebrated her 87th birthday last year. She'd been receiving just £67 per week in state pension because of gaps in her national insurance record from years spent caring for her disabled son. She had no idea she should have been automatically upgraded to a higher amount when she turned 80. After her neighbour's daughter helped her inquire, she received a back payment of £8,400 and now gets an additional £18.50 each week, money that makes a huge difference to her quality of life. You might be wondering why these errors happened in the first place. The issue stems from outdated systems and the complex nature of pension calculations. For years, the DWP relied on pensioners themselves to apply for certain increases, rather than automatically updating their payments. If you didn't know you needed to apply, you missed out. Until now, the system was particularly unfair to women who often had lower pension entitlements in their own right due to career breaks for childcare or lower paid part-time work. The problem was compounded by the sheer complexity of the state pension system. Prior to the introduction of the new state pension in April 2016, there were multiple components and rules that even pension experts found confusing. How could ordinary citizens be expected to navigate this labyrinth without specialized knowledge? Many of those affected simply trusted that the government was paying them the correct amount, never suspecting they were being shortchanged by the very system designed to support them in old age. How widespread is this problem? As I mentioned earlier, the DWP has admitted that approximately 210,000 pensioners have been affected by these underpayments, with a total of £1.3 billion owed. That's an average of over £6,000 per person, though some individuals are receiving far more. Have you been counting every penny in retirement while money that's rightfully yours sits in government coffers? The geographical spread is nationwide, with pensioners from every corner of the UK discovering they've been underpaid. The errors came to light largely thanks to the persistent campaigning of former Pensions Minister Sir Steve Webb and financial journalist Paul Lewis, who highlighted the issue and pressured the DWP to take action. Their work revealed that these weren't isolated mistakes but systematic failures that had disadvantaged hundreds of thousands of pensioners, particularly women, for many years. Without their efforts, these errors might have continued indefinitely, with pensioners never receiving the money they were legally entitled to. What steps are being taken to resolve this situation? The DWP has established a dedicated team to identify those affected and issue back payments. However, this process is expected to continue until late 2025. Can you really afford to wait that long if you're entitled to these funds? The review is being conducted in stages, with priority given to the oldest pensioners and widowers. While this approach makes sense, it means some people might wait years before their case is reviewed, time that many elderly pensioners simply don't have. The scope of the review is also limited, focusing primarily on cases since January 2021. This means that if you were underpaid before this date and are now deceased, your estate might not automatically receive the back payment you were owed. Is it fair that some families might never receive the pension payments their loved ones should have had during their lifetime? This is why being proactive about checking your entitlement, or that of elderly relatives, is so important. Is there anything you can do to speed up the process? Absolutely. While the DWP is working through cases systematically, you don't have to wait passively. If you believe you fall into one of the affected categories, you can be proactive and contact the pension service directly. Taking matters into your own hands could mean receiving your back payment months or even years earlier than if you wait for the DWP to identify your case. And remember, interest is only added to these back payments from January 2021, so the sooner you claim, the better. Many people have successfully claimed their back payments by being persistent. Some initial calls to the DWP resulted in confusion or incorrect information, but those who followed up and clearly explained their situation eventually received what they were owed. Don't be discouraged if your first attempt doesn't yield results. Keep detailed notes of all communications. Ask for reference numbers, and if necessary, write formal letters to create a paper trail of your claim. The process of checking your eligibility is straightforward. Start by gathering your national insurance number, details about your state pension payments, and if applicable, information about your spouse's pension. Then call the pension service on 0800 731 0469 to discuss your case. Have you prepared these details yet? When you call, be specific about why you think you may have been underpaid, mentioning which of the three groups you believe you fall into. Ask for your claim to be recorded and request a reference number and timeframe for a response. If calling feels daunting, you can also write to the Pension Service, Post Handling Site A, Wolverhampton, WV981AF. Include all your details and clearly state why you believe you've been underpaid. Keep a copy of your letter and consider sending it by recorded delivery so you have proof it was received. Some pensioners have found that a written approach yields more detailed responses than phone calls, particularly in complex cases. Many people feel intimidated by the process of challenging a government department. But remember, this isn't about asking for a favor, it's about claiming money that's legally yours. The DWP has acknowledged these errors and set aside funds to correct them. You've paid national insurance contributions throughout your working life precisely to ensure you'd have financial security in retirement. Now it's time to ensure you receive everything you're entitled to. If you're helping an elderly relative with this process, you may need to set up a third-party mandate or power of attorney to enable you to speak to the DWP on their behalf. Don't let bureaucratic hurdles prevent vulnerable people from receiving their rightful pension payments. Citizens Advice and Age UK can provide guidance on setting up these arrangements if you're unsure how to proceed. Remember, many elderly people rely on family members to help them navigate complex systems. Could you be that crucial support for someone in your family? What if you discover you're not eligible for a back payment? It's still worth reviewing your overall pension situation. Many retirees aren't claiming all the benefits they're entitled to, from pension credit to attendance allowance. Could you be missing out on additional support that could make your retirement more comfortable? Pension credit alone goes unclaimed by around 850,000 eligible pensioners, with an average annual value of over £3,300. That's another potential financial boost that many people are missing out on simply because they don't realize they qualify. Beyond government benefits, it's also worth checking whether you have any lost or forgotten private pensions from previous employers. The pension tracing service can help you track down these pensions, potentially adding hundreds or even thousands of pounds to your retirement income. With people changing jobs more frequently than in previous generations, it's easy to lose track of workplace pension schemes you may have contributed to decades ago. Finally, if you do receive a substantial back payment, consider seeking financial advice about how best to use this money. For some, paying off high-interest debts will be the priority. For others, investing in energy-efficient home improvements could reduce ongoing bills. Some might want to help family members or set aside funds for future care needs. Whatever your circumstances, make sure this money works as hard as possible for you. After all, you've waited long enough to receive it. Don't let bureaucratic errors shortchange your retirement. Take action today to check if you're one of the thousands owed back payments from the DWP. Remember, this isn't just about the money, it's about ensuring you receive the respect and support you've earned after decades of contributions. The pension system should be there to provide security in your later years, not cause additional stress and hardship. By claiming what you're entitled to, you're not only improving your own situation but also highlighting the importance of a fair and accurate pension system for all retirees. The time to act is now. Every day that passes is another day you're potentially missing out on the full pension you deserve. Whether you're directly affected or you're concerned about an elderly relative or friend, sharing this information could make a life-changing difference. In these challenging economic times, with the cost of living continually rising, can anyone afford to leave thousands of pounds unclaimed? I urge you to make that call to the pension service today. It could be the most financially rewarding phone call you ever make. If this information has been helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with friends and family who might benefit. Drop a comment below if you've had success claiming back payments or if you have questions about the process. I try to respond to every comment, and your experiences could help others in similar situations. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos that help you maximize your income and secure your financial future. I publish new content every Tuesday and Friday covering everything from pension rights to benefit entitlements and money-saving strategies specifically designed for retirees. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.